to understand why the bends of the chassis, this one here and there is one on the other side, sometimes they get stuck and you have harder time to get them through these holes. The reason there are many reasons. Either the mechanism of the extension and the retraction of the bends is impaired, something is stuck, or the frame is bent. Can this frame be bent? Yes. If you look at how tough this is a heavy duty frame. So the cranes handle it very roughly. Because they handle it very roughly, you try to get this pin to go through the hole like what I have in the previous video. It doesn't want to go. It doesn't want to go through the hole. How do you figure out? You have to go under to figure out if the mechanism of retraction and extension is functioning. Here is the mechanism. You have a handle here and you have to follow the handle, and you have a spring here. If any impairment here, any impairment in this side, anything here that goes wrong, a piece of metal, something disconnected, will make that spring loaded and prevent. Remember, this spring is attached to that long cylindrical pull inside that activates the other pin too. So that spring activates this pin, and it goes through this hole, this metal bar or metal cylinder. It goes all the way to the back and activate the one in the back. This is the one in the back. Activate means this one right here. Activate means there is a gear system here. Right here. There is a gear system that pull that pins in, push it in or push it back. When it gets stuck, you have one of these 4 wheel assemblies on even surface. Here we are on concrete surface. You can easily get these pins in and out by pulling the handle. I can even pull it without gloves. Can I pull it without gloves? No, it's hard here, it's stuck here. You pull that without gloves. Oh, easy. It's easy. Well, it doesn't go through, but as soon as you drive it, you will get this pin to be centered, to be pushed in the middle. So this is, if you look from inside here, you can see the rough contact. Any roughness here can make the pins stuck on a rough metal. Look at that. That's a rough metal surface. The pin will be stuck off center, up or down. If you look very carefully here on that hole, the pin can be stuck on the periphery and they might not be able to go inside. When you go now to the Kingpin and the 5th wheel, this is one problem, is the pin of the tandem. Second problem, as you know, these pins can be sliced by the weight of the container like cheese. Remember, they look strong for a human tissue, but they can cut as a cheese. If you ever drove a heavy commercial vehicle without locking the pin, this pin can be cut like a knife, with a knife. The container, the weight of the container can slice it with a sheer stress, exactly like a spaghetti. Let us go back now to the Kingpin. Here is the Kingpin under the trailer, and assume that this is our 5th wheel, and you wanted to hook to the trailer with the 5th wheel. The 5th wheel has only one axle. The axle is in the middle. It goes back and the front. It does not go this way. It does not go this way. So where is the other axle? The other axle is the Kingpin axle. So the Kingpin, here is the fifth wheel, and here is the Kingpin. The Kingpin can go this way, and can push it this way, and can push the entire and to come back to be locked. Or it can come this way, it can push it this way, it can be locked. Or the other, this is one axle. So this is the vertical axle. This is the vertical axle that rotates this way. And this is the fifth wheel rotates this way on a horizontal axis, transverse horizontal axis. So this can go this way and push the entire tractor. The trailer have to be pushed. It pushes the entire trailer, or it can go this way and push the entire trailer. We're missing a third axle, because you're dealing with 3 dimensions. The third axle is the longitudinal axle. If your tractor, the one side is lower than the other, the driver's side is lower, this fifth wheel will be tilted this way. If it will be tilted, the thing, it will come, it cannot push as hard because the slope. So you try to push it stuck here. Because it can go as far as this. This is an exaggerated figure. In this area, if you tilt it this way, how is that? That Kingpin cannot tilt it this side to side. Cannot tilt it this way. It can only move it this way. Remember, here is again. The fifth wheel can go this way. It can, if the Kingpin push, if you push with this is your tractor right here. If you push, it will go this way, so it will take the Kingpin, it will take that entire chassis, it will push that entire chassis to that direction. If you go this way, it will push it to that direction. If you go in the center, fine, if you can do that. That is one scenario. The other scenario is this scenario. The trailer or tractor down or the tractor up. This is not a problem because you can move back and forward with the tractor. The worst scenario ever is that scenario when one side of the tractor is stuck in a lower level and the other side is the upper level. In that case, the Kingpin cannot untwist it, cannot level it, cannot put it on a level. You get stuck, you keep pushing on the tractor and you cannot go through. You cannot get the Kingpin to go through. Let me show you the scenario that happened to me yesterday versus the scenario that I have now. Now I have a very smooth surface, a smooth junction between the asphalt and the concrete. So now I don't have a problem. I can go smooth under the Kingpin like millions of times. Every time you have no problem. But one time when you have an awkward problem, you never saw it before. Here is how smooth the junction is. Here is the asphalt. Here is the concrete. The surface is okay. But look when you come with the tractor, the left wheel will go on the concrete and that wheel will be on the asphalt. If there is uneven concrete to asphalt junction, you will have one side of the fifth wheel tilted side to side. Here is the fifth wheel this way. This fifth wheel had no problem bending this way and this way because the pivot is right here. You can lift it with your own hand up, you push it up, go up, it can go down. This is one axle of rotation. This is one axle. The other axle of rotation is this axle, the Kingpin. When the Kingpin go through this groove. The problem when the Kingpin comes here, if the fifth wheel and the trailer, the coupling plate of the trailer are leveled, that fifth wheel will be tilted to one side, or this will be tilted to the other side. In that case, your Kingpin will not go through this narrow tunnel. You keep pushing, it doesn't go through this narrow tunnel that has a job. The jaws are in it. Go to the coupling plate in the bottom. And that is the Kingpin in the bottom. So to summarize the whole scenario, when you deal with the fifth wheel, you have 3 axes of rotation. 3 axes of rotation. A rotation in horizontal transverse, that is horizontal. And the transverse, which means the fifth wheel can tilt back and the front. And a vertical rotation, the Kingpin, the entire trailer can be pushed from one side to the other side. That is the second axle of rotation. The third axle of rotation is the worst axle, is the longitudinal, horizontal. This from this side to that side. That is when one of the wheels, one of the side of the tractor is lower than the side of the other side of the tractor. This is the worst scenario. But if the front and the back of the trailer is lower or higher than the tractor, or the tractor's nose and the tail are lower or higher, you can compensate that with this axle. With this fifth wheel can do that. The fifth wheel can do that. Can rotate. The fifth wheel can rotate horizontally on the transverse axis. Can do that. And you can push this way. And you can rotate around the Kingpin. You can do it that this way. You can push this way and this way. That's easy. You can rotate this way and push the trailer side to side. But you cannot push it this way. You cannot push it from side to side. I mean tilt it from side to side. Of course you can push the trailer from side to side, but you cannot get one of the wheels of the tractor up or down by the Kingpin, by this mechanism. This mechanism can destroy the fifth wheel. Now if you watch here, that wheel is on the concrete. The other wheel is on the asphalt. But we have no problem because the surface is even. The junction between the asphalt and the concrete is even. And if it is not even, you have a problem that I had before. We need to make sure 100% that the Kingpin is locked. It is locked. The Kingpin is shiny silver. Looks like silver. So when you don't see the silver shining surface, it is locked. Another thing, look at the distance between the truck and the chassis. This distance, it tells you that you are all the way back. Another thing, you come here, of course the handle here is in. And the last thing, the distance from the tip of the fifth wheel to the nose is about 3 feet. From the Kingpin, from here to the Kingpin, from right here, that is 3 feet. So we are locked, we are good.